Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today in this Stevie's Custom Monstrosity video, we have the completed SH Monsterarts Orga, which I currently got here next to the Monsterarts 2000, which I think, honestly, they look pretty good next to each other. I'm going to toot my own horn just a little bit in terms of like the overall size and presentation. I will say, because of his upper body, his legs have a little bit of a hard time supporting his weight sometimes. You can get it to work, as you can see here, but it just takes like a little finessing to get everything to kind of line up appropriately. If you just kind of willy-nilly, he really wants to slouch a little bit, especially the way the legs are set up. But overall, really happy with the end result. So initially what this was a commission that was sent in that somebody was already working on. So somebody was already trying to make this guy fully posable, and some bad things happened. So he sent it to me to clean it up, try to make it look a little nicer. And so I used a lot of the same sections that they used. And then I cut some of my own up a little bit on here too. So initially what this is a Bandai Orga. I want to say it's from the 2-pack. It had the giant slit on the side here, which I tried to cover up with epoxy. We could also, but this might be not the movie monster series, but it's definitely an older release of Orga. But it was a vinyl, so he wasn't meant to be like super posable as it is now. And so we chopped it up, and the inner figure here is a G.I. Joe. You'll see some of the pant leg right here. It kind of blended, so I didn't really worry about it too much. But the legs, the torso's here. It has custom joints for the neck, the mouth. I reused the G.I. Joe's arms for the elbow section here, and then it has custom joints. What did I use for this? Oh, it was from one of those cheap WWE figures. It's the arm where the arm can rotate. I chopped it up, sanded it down, and stuck him in the wrist here so the wrist would be able to rotate on this guy. Because after getting this like fully set up, it was kind of weird that I didn't really like that his arm was just kind of stuck here. So we added a cut line there just to be able to rotate the hand here. And it's got custom joints in there, in the feet, and the whole tail section here is also custom joints. I want to say they're from Legos. I actually reused a lot of the joints that he sent to me. So it's like the Lego joints are in here and in the shoulder. Although I did have to use some hot glue to make them a little bit tighter. But we reused some of the joints there. And it's got quite a bit of epoxy, so it's not... The back and forth isn't really a thing on this guy. He's more just got a rotation here at the waist now. Is all that's going to provide there. So nothing crazy there. And then I added like the custom joint here for the head here too. So the head's able to rotate side to side. And he's got a nice up and down too. But what I did here, I might be able to pop the head off to show you guys. There we go. Is I actually made a joint using a 3D print pen. And then once I got the right size and the cup where it would just be like just enough to hold it on, I used some hot glue on the inside of it and then just stuck it to the ball. And the hot glue is once it softens, it shapes the ball. And then also it's got a bit of more like a rubber texture, so it gives it a nice grip that the 3D filament by itself doesn't really provide. So I had to do that for there. It was good enough for the mouth. So the mouth is able to pose. I had to do the same thing for the shoulders here. For the shoulders, you get a bit of a wiggle and a bit of a rotation. Funny enough, these little pieces here to hide my 3D print pen parts is actually from a random Bandai Baragon figure or not Baragon. It's an Ultraman Kaiju. Gamora? I want to say. I had a chopped up one there. I had some of the limbs still hanging out. So this is from parts of the limbs. just to hide the section here, because it was like the closest thing I had hanging around that sort of matched what was going on here. And then he'll have a bend at the elbow. So he has the rotation there, rotation at the hand. Each of the fingers can go in and out. I glued them in so that they can't rotate anymore. Mainly because it's like outside, like you don't really rotate your fingers so much. That it just helps to keep them in, because the way I had set them up to get all the joints in, I couldn't really use too much of the peg inside of there. I haven't moved the fingers around that much yet since I've glued everything together. But each of the fingers are posable. And then at the legs, it's the G.I. Joe leg, so he's got like a little bit of rotation here. This isn't actually glued to anything. It's just the cut joint slid, or cut leg piece slid over top of the leg. So when you move the knee here around, it just kind of shifts around, which helps out with that quite a bit. So it gets you a little bend there, and the feet got a little bit of a rotation and just like a little bit of a forward and back. But I kept them relatively unposable, mainly just because of the weight of the figure. I didn't really feel comfortable enough to give them like full range of motion, and then it'd just be like, yeah, want to shift around more than it does. So overall, I would say, honestly, the articulation is a little bit more comparable to like an old NECA. Like a little better than an old NECA. Like I don't think they would give you the posable hands, to say the least. But still really serviceable and looks really good next to this Godzilla. For the paint job, it's actually kind of interesting on how I went about this guy. So I started with a gray primer that I tinted to be a little bit more of like a darker blue to it. Did the entire figure. Then I dry brushed it with some apple barrel gray, because oddly enough, that 50-cent gray that you could buy at Walmart is like the right Orga color. So went over the entire thing with that dry brushing, so you can still see where the primer is, and then the gray went over top of that. And then I highlighted it with some metallic silver on the armor bits here. And then after that, went over certain sections with the blue wash. But when doing the wash and the metallics, it just came out really cool. You can see here. I think it was a metallic blue that I used for the wash that I had. It's a Liquitex brand. And then just painted the eyes, the mouth. Used a bone color for the teeth. The eyes I did in a orange, and then did sort of like a white for the pupils. So it makes it look a little bit more glowing. And then the mouth was just black with a little bit of grays, reds and pinks for the dry brushing. And then also for the figure too, I dry brushed a little bit of browns on the stomach region here and on some of the skin sections, just to give them a little bit more of an offset coloring, especially on like the front section of the body. The back, I left a little bit more of the apple barrel gray, but you'll see there's a little bit of browns here and there on it too. And the nails were just black with a little bit of gray dry brushing over top of them, just to give them a little bit extra character. But gonna sit here and do some photos for the thumbnail and Instagram, and then he's going to his new home. Because, yep, this was a commission. If you guys like to get a hold of me for commissions, you could check me out on the Etsy shop, link in the description below. It's one of the easiest ways to get a hold of me. Also, our Discord that's attached to our Discord that's attached to our Patreon. Also, a really great place to get a hold of me. I usually do commissions a little bit cheaper if you're part of our Patreon. And yeah, you can just straight message me on there. Plus, there's a lot of other like-minded individuals. It's a really great, like, tiny little community that we got. It's been, like, getting slowly bigger over the years, but not as much as I would like. But still, really sweet. Yeah, I think that's really about it. It was just a super fun project. Took a little while longer than I really wanted to. But for the most part, I work 40 hours a week plus channel stuff. I got a child and then other projects too. It just takes me a little longer to get certain commissions done than others, especially ones that I gotta like. This one, it was like a full restoration. Plus I still had to like re-engineer a lot of it. So you just get a little bit time consuming. Honestly, the paint job was probably the quickest thing about this guy. I got that done, just like a couple little sessions. But anyways, you can help us defeat those kaiju by hitting the like button, subscribe to Current Rage today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys, like you with the video channel and donate, greatly would appreciate. If you guys like to pick up figures like the Monsterarts Godzilla here, or if you like to get your highest sooner than stateside places, link in the description for Cowkiss Toys. You can save 6% off your order code Steve Cowkiss at checkout. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next one. Well, actually, I probably should be using this guy. Bye-bye.